Hi, everyone. Welcome to Relatively Sane. This is Jessica Kirson, and I am so grateful to be saying hello to all of you. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast, for listening and spreading the word. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Jessie Kirson, Twitter, Facebook, all of it. Weight Watchers. Listen, I'm trying to do Weight Watchers again. It's not easy. This is not easy being home and eating well. I'm not even joking around. I'm being serious, and I know a lot of you understand. The thing is like, I don't care if I gain a couple of pounds. I know that's not great, but I don't care. When I eat crap, I feel like crap. So that's why I'm saying I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm really trying to eat better. The next thing I need to do is exercise. Do you guys have an easy time exercising, or is it harder for you while you're home? I don't know. It seems like some people are more motivated and some people are less motivated. Let me know what you think. Also, would you like to hear me do some podcasts on my own, just ranting? If none of you respond to this, I'll laugh so hard. If that's something you'd like to hear, of just me ranting about certain subjects, you guys can email, send in questions, and I'll answer them, and we can connect that way. Let me know what you think. Send me a message on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouPorn, on Israel.org, whatever it is, send me a message. I am sending all of you so much love. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for the podcast. I'm so grateful that the world is okay and everyone's coming together and there's no division. I'm so grateful that I finally became a size 6. And I just feel really great about myself. So again, thank you for listening. Keep in touch. Send me messages. Let me know if you'd like to hear me have a nervous breakdown. Maybe once a month. I was thinking about it, of doing just my own thing once a month. Okay, I love you all. Hope you enjoy the podcast today. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Relatively Sane. I am here with one of my favorite people, and I don't always say that, so this is a big compliment. Paul Virzi.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me.
Paul, I have been wanting to get you on this. I don't know why we haven't done each other's we both want each other on our podcasts.
I mean, there's very few people that I can just instantly laugh with the way that I laugh with you.
Yeah.
And it's always fun. So yeah, you gotta get on my show, do the Virzi Effect again. But this is great. I'm excited.
I don't know why I'm already laughing. I think because you remind me of me, where you come off, and this is a compliment, trust me. You come off as being very centered, like happy. Okay. Like you have a routine. But then I know, because you're a comic and because we've spoken, you deal with anxiety stuff, right?
Yeah, I have. Since I've been in the 3rd grade, I actually had my first anxiety attack in the 3rd grade, and I didn't know what it was. So I was just sitting on a couch, and my parents went through I went through a brutal divorce. They went through a brutal divorce when I was 5 and my brother was 10, and I didn't realize the toll that it took. And it was early 80s. So it was really an uncivil, and they both probably would admit that it wasn't handled, they just didn't handle it right. And that was back then when divorce was really frowned upon compared to now. Now they're lined up, especially with this pandemic.
now it's going to be, it'll be really weird if people stay together.
Exactly. So yes, it's like going to get a sandwich, getting divorced now. And so I felt security was gone from me. I realized it later in life, but what was happening was my dad was gone. My mom and dad were fighting, and those are the people that raised me and loved me. And now all of a sudden it's this broken thing. So I started with OCD in 3rd grade. And then one day I was just sitting on my couch and I was having problems in school. And I had my first anxiety panic attack, and I was a 3rd grader.
Oh, so that's so horrible. I don't know. I've heard that. That's really horrible.
I didn't know what was happening. I remember looking around and I was looking for my mom, and I thought I was going to die in that moment. Cause I'm probably what I'm an 8-9-year-old kid. And this happened, and it was really tough. So I think like with comedy, I think the reason why I got into comedy too, now looking back, is like, I was always funny telling stories or doing impressions of Eddie Murphy, and I would make my friends laugh, and that would be like my acceptance. They would be like, oh my God, this guy's funny. He could tell stories. So I just think that was, I think my personality and me being funny kind of got me out of that. But yeah, to answer your question, comics always say to me, dude, you look like you got the family, and you have, and I'm like, yes, I do kind of say that. I do feel like I'm grounded, and I do have a happiness and a sense of that in my home and everything. But I definitely am, I'd be lying if I said that anxiety and a little depression, more OCD and anxiety come into my life for sure.
When you were that young, what kind of, because I know some kids who are dealing with really severe OCD right now, and it's so, I feel so bad because I have it, but not like I didn't have it as a kid. So it just seems different. But what would come up for you when you were a kid? What kind of OCD?
So my OCD is really more mental, and I talked about it in the special a little bit, where like I'll get stuck on a thought.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And then I'll sit there for 45 minutes trying to think of why I had that thought, what's wrong with me. It can be a violent thought. It could be a sexual thought. It can be a something crazy is going to happen thought if this doesn't happen. And I would just sit there and break it down. And the thoughts would come when something in my life was enjoyable. So when my son was born, I would be with my son, and I'd be like, this is amazing, and this is so humbling, and I'm a father, and I have a son. And then it's just like, then all these bad, horrible thoughts would rush in that moment of joy, because the OCD attacks it and knows.
I so understand that. I actually, I'm very much like that in a lot of ways.
I mean, God forbid we're happy, Jessica.
Could you imagine if you like run a marathon and you win, and then you run back and you're like, I don't deserve to?
Oh my, yeah. If me or you won an Oscar or an Academy Award, we would start thanking people, and then we would just hand it back and run away crying.
Yeah, I would throw it at the other contestant, like the other whoever should win it, because I shouldn't win anything.
I know, and it's. Do you come from a broken home or no?
Yes, I relate to a lot of what it's always like this when I talk to someone that I connect with. It's a similar story, but I was 12. Yeah. My parents had a horrible marriage, and they screamed and yelled, and it was not easy at all. It made me very anxious and filled with fear, and then they got divorced, and I had the exact same thing, that my dad left, and it was very hard for me, when he left.
I would have these dreams, or I would wake up crying, and I was in grade school. That something would happen to my mother, and I was trying to figure out why, and it was just because my dad wasn't there, but I didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
It was just, it's like you said, it's like when that happens, you don't have security, and you're a little kid, and you kind of need. So I actually do see what divorce. I'm not saying divorce is bad. I think sometimes a family should be separate if things are not good, and the kids feel that and feel that screaming
and you can't
and yelling.
fix it. Sometimes you can't. There's
no.
Yeah.
I think that there's times where it's like, mom and dad love you guys, but we need to be apart. But then I also think that like having structure and stability with two parents that like make it work, the kid's gonna grow up to, not tell dick jokes on a cruise ship.
Like you and I did. Oh my God, are we always going to be a mess? Like I've kind of accepted the fact that I'll never be okay. Is that
here's
bad?
The thing. I think everybody's a mess. Everybody,
especially now.
But I mean, I think my FedEx driver's got issues. The guy that runs the pizzeria's got issues. But what we do, and I see how you carry yourself, which, by the way, I mean, you are. When I saw that picture of you with your hair all fucking crazy, and you go, "I'm okay," it was so funny. But I get that. What you do, and I think what we do as comedians, is we do just get, like you always say, be silly and joke around. That's kind of our way to just deal with it and also give joy.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of people are fucked up. Like a lot of people, like my mom has anxiety. I get it from my mom's side, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
if my dad's side has it, they never really showed it. But my mom is known to have had some, anxiety things and things that I have in my family. And like, I think what we do and what you do and I do, we kind of just if you don't find the humor in it, you just break down and cry.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally would just slam my head into a wall.
Yeah, it's our sanity. So it's like, it's our defense mechanism against the stuff that we're going to. So, but you actually have you're grounded too. Like as crazy as
mm-hmm.
you have a family,
mm-hmm.
like you have a house, you have children,
mm-hmm.
you have a career. And me and you started similar. Like I think you probably started maybe a year or two before me, but we've been doing this. You and I have been doing this for a long time. So when me and you got specials and me and you were moving up and people were like, oh wow, like they really worked hard, but like we were ready for it because we just been in it.
Oh my God, ready for it. I mean, that I was grateful for that because I was like, I am so ready to do this. And then thank God once it came out and I started making good money and getting a lot of gigs, this pandemic started because it was too much good stuff. It was too positive. So a lot of bad stuff started happening. I was like, yes, that's familiar. Yeah. So now I'm, sitting in my closet, doing an interview with someone I love. But how has it been to not? You're someone really good to ask this too, because some people, I don't know, they won't. You would go deep with this, but how does it feel to not perform? Because I know for you, you're like me. And I was talking to, like I said, Joe DeRosa and some other comics recently about this, and it's my therapy. So I realized recently, I'm like, this is really not good. Like the fact that I'm not performing is really making me very down.
So I was talking to Sal Vacano about this last night, and I looked at it like this, like when I had a weekend off, right? But there wasn't a pandemic. When I just had a weekend off, I liked it and I enjoyed it with my family, but in my mind, I'm going like almost like an athlete, like, oh, everyone else who's up is getting better, and I'm not.
I have the same thing, yeah.
So you're like those people. So then when the pandemic, when everybody wasn't working, and it was kind of like, all right, we're all in this thing, it's all the same thing. Then I was able to take a breath. We actually all had it. My whole family.
I remember you telling me that, right? So.
Yeah. So I got the antibodies. I took the test. So I told my agent and manager, I go, look, it's been enough now. I said, I'm willing, I'll be safe on the airplane. I have antibodies of COVID-19. And if there's a club I got to be honest, and I've said it before, and this is nothing against any comedians, and I don't want anybody to be upset with me because who am I to say how you should work?
Oh yeah, that's your you're aware. We're all aware. Everyone's making their own decisions about it.
But I just don't want to stand on the back of a pickup truck with rubber gloves yelling at cars. I just don't want to do it.
If I do it, I'm going to end up in a mental institution.
There's something that I know that this is, and like I said, I see how comedians are like, I have to do something, and I need to get up, and I love it. But I look at it the other way. I love comedy so much that I don't want, after all of this happened, I don't want my first memory back on stage to be, yelling at cars in a drive-thru. I just don't want to do that.
In a drive-thru. Hey, can I get a Big Mac? You know what's in a Big Mac? You start doing jokes about the drive-thru. Can you imagine?
Sorry, I meant drive-in.
I know. You're like, I'll take a number 2, a number 4. That means I'll have a number 6.
So my wife is busting my balls. Let me get a Diet Coke and
hey, can I get a medium fry? Where are you from? What do? You celebrating anything?
Oh God! Before I get into this pandemic, you guys got chicken sticks or no? It's not. I'm eating a burger while I'm bombing.
If it was in a drive-thru, that would listen. Standing on a truck sounds like fucking Carnegie Hall compared to
who knows what's going to happen next. Pretty soon our friends are going to be, who knows where our friends are going to be.
I got a gig at a Waffle House next Friday and Saturday. I get $100 and some hash browns.
Yeah, Paul, I'm going to be over at the Getty station. I'm going to be at the... it's a light
Getty
crowd.
Station.
Everybody pulls up at a gas pump. It's only going to be 6 cars.
Yeah, I get some candy, and I get my tires filled with air.
With every third joke, you get a car wash.
Jesus, I sound like I have cancer. It's not even the virus. I'm like choking.
So I told my manager and agent, I was like, dude, I'm crying already.
I know. I laugh with you all the time.
I told my manager and agent, I said, let me go. I'll go. And then at first they gave me an offer for July 4th weekend, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I said, other than that weekend, and then all of a sudden, like late last week, they go, hey, do you want to come out June 12th and 14th? And I was like, I looked at the money and I'm going, something? Half capacity in a room. But I need now, because I'll be honest with you, I have the next hour ready and we're talking about another special.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, and I was touring with it, and it was, everybody was like, oh, it's better. And I had more tags and I was good to go. And then now I feel like I have to go back and listen. I have to get it again. So now, I think hopefully my hope is, Jessica, that when I do this tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, I actually feel like I'm somewhat back in the thing. But then listen, we're not going to be in New York City doing this until phase 4 or whatever. So it's going to be months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know, and you say you're like going, and then you hear the number spike, and then it's like, well, are they still staying open? Like, what if they close? What just happened?
Yeah, I don't know. So I think sometimes when somebody tries to call, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I was like, Paul, did you just change? So if people aren't watching video, all of a sudden a picture of Paul came up in like camouflage. I'm like, are you in Vietnam all of a sudden? It was
hysterical. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but
it's okay. So if you go, and they're not going to say, you don't think they'll say, I mean, do you have a fear that they'll say, well, the numbers are going up, we can't even do it. We can't do it. You're here, but you have to fly home or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened was yesterday, my manager called and he goes, hey, are you excited for the weekend? And I go, yeah, but I kind of saw that there's like 12 to 19 states where there's been a spike. And I said, Arizona. So like, I had like WME did a great job. I got to give them credit. Like the agency, they called up. They even were calling hospitals.
Wow.
They were talking to people. And the club said that the club is a go and nobody's really canceling. They're being super, super safe.
Right.
And, everything seems, I think Adam Ray did it last week and it seemed good.
He did. He told me he was doing it. Yeah. I think it was fine. It's fine as long as they're careful. I said to my agents, I will not be talking to anyone before. I will not be hanging out with anyone after. And if I'm on stage and I don't go near people, I'm okay. Like I really am. For me, it's more flying. I can't even believe it. I have never had an issue with flying literally, I'm not kidding. I've been on planes, which like you, because we've flown so much, where the plane is jumping up and down and I'm just sitting there going, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But now I am petrified. I'm petrified to be in an airport. It's not even a plane. I don't know what it is.
I think that I would be a little more concerned had I not had the antibodies.
Yes.
So I think the fact that like we had it, and I know I had it. I mean, I had it worse than my family. My wife was literally like, my body fought it a little more. By the way, I don't want to paint the picture that I was miserable. I wasn't. I had a lingering cough for like 4.5 weeks. I lost my smell and taste.
Wow.
Some days I was achy and a little off, but I got to be honest, like it was nothing brutal, but I know that it was in my system for a while. So now that I have the antibodies, I'm like, look, I'm still going to obviously wear a mask, wear the wipes and bring the wipes with me. I'm going to not eat or really touch things on the airplane. I'm going to wipe down where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep the mask on and hopefully just go, just take a nap and go to sleep. But yeah, I know what you mean though. Did you get tested for either antibodies or the virus?
I think I had it. I might be getting it on this podcast. I think I had, because I keep coughing. No, I think I had it months ago because I had the dry cough the fever. I was so sick for like 6 weeks. I never get sick, ever like that. I've never have. And it would not go away. And I went to the doctor like 3 times, and this was right before it came out, like it started. So I don't know.
Oh, but you had it. I would imagine you had it, especially you're in New York City all the time. And I got it around that time. I either got it at Levity Live the second weekend of March, or I got it March 14th when we went out for my wife's birthday for dinner. That was kind of like the last time restaurants were open that weekend. So it's either one of the 2 places and it could stay in your system for 10 days. That's what sucks about it.
Did you have fever?
One day I had a low grade, and my wife one day had a low grade, and my son 2 days. Yeah.
That's what I'm not understanding. They're like, we'll take temperatures before people go in. I'm like, what? I don't understand that. What does that mean? If not everyone gets a fever, like, it's so weird.
I think they just want to make sure that, like, if you have a fever, they just don't want you admitted in case you do have it. But like, they've been so wrong with this, Jessica. I mean, Paul, they were like, "Oh, diarrhea. If your toes hurt, if my toes did hurt, you want to laugh? You want to laugh? Somebody said, did you get COVID toes? And I was the only one in my family for 2 days or one day. The 2 toes in the middle next to my big toe were throbbing in pain. Yeah. So like when
so weird to me. I'm sorry. Like, why your toes? It's so weird.
Yeah, it was literally like a couple hours in a day, and it hurt. And I'm going, like, in my mind, I must have banged my foot, like, and then the sense of smell, just really, really weird. But they're all, everything is, does your hair ache? Does your toenail? It's like,
well, I mean, then I would feel like I have it all the time. I never feel well because I'm never like, do you ever wake up and go, oh, I feel great? You probably do.
No, only when I'm like, I have to be like working out or doing if you're doing exercise, not drinking, and like days go by, then you feel good. But sometimes I wake up. You ever wake up in just a full anxiety panic attack?
Of course I do, and every day recently.
You just wake up and want to cry.
Paul, every day I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, this is my life. Like, I'm literally in a major depression the second I get.
Yeah, what's hard too is like we have kids, so my wife will just walk in and go, Paul, Sophia's not doing her homework properly.
That's a funny bit. Paul, you have to do that on stage. That's hysterical. Yeah, having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, she just will stand over me. She hovers.
I don't have a minute to fucking breathe. I don't have a minute to myself. The other day I said to Danielle, I need to be alone. She goes, need to be alone? You're a parent. You're never going to. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Or else I'm not going to be living. I won't be at their high school games if I don't get 1 fucking minute to myself to breathe. Because I'm not doing this.
Wouldn't it be funny if you just went on a cruise alone?
Now. You were like dying to get a job as an essential worker, but you have no skills.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, I would love to have you. I'm doing a show at a Carvel. It's not.
Can I get a free Thinny Thin?
Everybody gets a small cup of vanilla for free.
Vanilla, not even. Yeah, not even a flavor. Yeah, you can't even get sprinkles unless you do 20 minutes. You get.
Yeah, you got to do more time for sprinkles.
For an hour, you can get a sundae. Where's the worst place we could perform? Where, like a morgue? No, that's actually. I'd rather. I think like a diner would be the worst.
I'd rather stare at dead bodies in a cold freezer. At least I'm not in a parking lot. Oh, dude,
I'm going to go to perform in a hospice because I think that'll be really upbeat.
I'm going to perform in the hospice, and then when the show's over, say, can I just stay?
Can you imagine someone's dying? So, where are you from? Oh, my God.
Oh shit!
Hey, do you have a birthday coming up? They're completely they're not even awake. They're in a coma. Hey, do you celebrating anything?
So Jessica, I'm not trying to make light of this, but I've had multiple grandparents in a home, and when I
sounds
tell
so
you,
crazy.
you walk in there, and some are okay.
Paul,
but then some
I know
you're
the
like,
whole.
I think that guy died last week. Like they're just like this. They're just like this. And I'm going like, what is like? Can you prop
Can
him
you
up?
check
Or,
on him? Can someone please check on him?
I think Charlie died last week. Like,
I've performed at those places. I'm like, hey, how you guys? I'm talking a lot because I do those Jewish like nursing. I've done, and then just someone will be like, just sitting there, like their mouth is open, there's drool coming down. I'm like, this is. But I think I'd rather do that than stand on a truck in front of people wearing masks. I saw some pictures of comics just in rubber gloves on a truck, and
I wasn't, and like I said, listen, who am I to tell you how to make money?
Rubber, not plastic, rubber gloves.
Yeah. Yeah, if I have to go get a fucking hazmat suit before I tell jokes, I'm good. Like,
I'm gonna go on stage on the back of a pickup. Wait, I'm gonna go on stage on the back of a pickup truck with like what are they called? Flippers on my feet. Those flippers. And you dare me? I'll wear the floaties and a shower.
Yeah, like.
cap.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be funny. We got to stop at like
Paul,
CVS.
Paul, we should do a show. We should do a video, listen, on the back of some horrible truck. Horrible, like a horrible truck with crazy things on to protect ourselves. Just like floaties on our arms.
Oh.
Like a fish hat, like one of those things for the pool. And like
I'll just come in a full scuba outfit with the tank on my back. Oh my God.
I'll be wearing a pool.
It makes me wonder, and what do you think? It makes me wonder, like, oh my God, I know. I haven't had this much fun on a podcast.
I haven't had this much fun in months.
Oh,
Forget
this is
about
so great.
Podcast. Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
All right, hold up. Could you take a little off the P's? You're hitting them too hard. Not action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
Hold on. Now you're whispering Patreon. Is there a reason you're whispering?
Well, you said to take the
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
You ready? Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon member.
Now you got to pause.
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members, is that okay?
It was perfect. Why'd you stop?
Oh, okay. Patreon members.
Cut. Let's go back to the beginning.
Thank you
And action.
Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting the podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about...
All right, let's take it back to the beginning. That was perfect. Do it exactly like that.
I just did it well, though, but why are you starting over? Thank you so much to all of my patron...
Cut. Why are you screaming?
Because I'm just trying to get through this.
Action.
Thank you so much to all of
Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast.
Perfect. Keep going.
There's so many P's.
Keep going.
Ad-free episodes.
You could cut this out, right?
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about being relatively sane.
Hold up. Did we agree on monthly live streams?
Yes, you told me I should do them because it'll get more members.
I don't know how to do a monthly live stream.
Don't you just talk in your phone?
We'll figure it out. Come on, let's get through this. We have to go. We should
Okay.
speed this up.
All right. Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting this podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams. We don't know what that is, but whatever, where we talk about being relatively sane. If you want to join our fantastic community that is so corny, go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's
hold on.
Patreon.
I think you said patriot.com.
Go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Thanks again.
And cut. That's a wrap.
Ugh.
But it makes me think about this, though, Jessica. Do you think the people and the comics, and listen, some are friends. I mean, I spoke to Aaron Berg.
I know.
Aaron Berg was like, it was fun, Virzi. And there were, I talked to people and I was like, I saw Joe List did it.
I saw a lot of people. Yeah.
A bunch of people did it. And I'm going like, I think that as much as it looks like it's a hell gig, which it might be, I think that comics are itching to get on stage so bad.
I understand, and I give them credit. I'm actually jealous that they're okay enough to stand on the back of a truck and tell jokes, but I'm a minute away from being hospitalized. Like, I cannot, if someone honks at me, or if I hit a deer, like if something happens on the truck.
I saw one comic go, "Are you guys having a good time?" And they all started honking. And I was like, I can't. Now, if one car doesn't honk, you don't know if the horn is broken or if you're bombing. I'm insecure about a fucking red
You
Sentra.
hear
You know the way you look at the audience member not laughing?
You go to your therapist, you're like, the red Corolla didn't laugh at me.
Everything was going really good until this 92 Saturn just didn't flash its lights. And I'm having
And then at
nightmares.
some point, someone just went on their horn, and I'm like, is someone hurt? Am I bombing? Oh God.
Oh my God.
And then I thought it was raining because someone was cleaning their windows, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a junkyard tour next week. We're just going to be standing on rusty car parts. Fuck, Jessica, I needed this.
A dump. You go to a dump. There's just birds flying around. How's everyone doing?
You know those storage units? How funny is it?
Storage unit.
One comic was just behind one, waiting for it to open, and as soon as it opened, they start telling jokes.
To an armoire. I'm trying to think of the worst places you could perform right now. It's really funny. I was asked to do it twice. I can't do it. I wish I could, but I can't.
I got asked to do one like late June, a drive-in, and I was just honest.
It's so funny. It sounds so funny to me that this is what it's come to, a drive-in.
This is what it's come to, and I was like, you know what? Let me know how it goes. I'll see you.
I said the same exact. Was that in upstate New York?
Yes.
Me too. I'm like, for me to drive hours to stand on a fucking gardening truck, a landscape.
You're right though. What's next? How funny would it be if you were like standing next to the FDR, like by the water, and you just saw a tugboat go by with a comic standing on the front of it? There's this comic on boats just talking.
You perform on the boat that goes next to the cruise ship.
You perform on the boat that takes you to the island. Oh my God.
Or there's tugboats take you out into the ocean from like just in like in New York, there's a little boat that goes next to the cruise ship so that you don't have to.
It's like wait for the clubs, It's like wait.
I know.
Listen, half capacity is better than like if just because you feel like you're on stage
A
again.
10th of the capacity is better than performing on a truck.
Absolutely.
They're
Absolutely.
like everyone stays in their truck. Oh, this was the best part. They can fit they can fit up to 100 trucks. They all have to be pickup trucks. I'm like, I'm fucking Jewish. I'm gay. I'm gonna get killed.
They can fit up to 100 trucks.
And it has to be a pickup truck. The place where I was. So there'd be like,
God.
yeah, like I'd be dragged out of there on a rope from the back of the truck. Like I would be killed if I went up and did
Dude,
that.
it's all pickup trucks. It's like, is this thing a comedy show or a KKK
I know that's
rally?
what I'm saying. You go there to perform and there's a hanging.
They have sheets for you. You're like, I'm good.
You have to wear a sheet.
Oh my God. Yeah. I get needing to get up, and I'm glad I'm going to Arizona. I'm hoping obviously that everything is okay and safe and I don't get sent home or something doesn't work out. But
you won't.
If I can get on stage, I'm excited.
I mean, this is what's going to happen. It's going to come in. It depends how many people are. If everyone can just stick to the program of just communicating on the back of pickup trucks, like even if it's an AA meeting or something, everyone just meet on the back of a
Oh my God, how funny would that be if desperate comics that went to AA just stood up and started doing their act?
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I'm an addict. You know when you're in the restaurant and the waiter comes up to you and says, "What are we having?" And you're like, "We." And someone's like, "Excuse me, I don't feel like this is a share. Like I don't."
Dude, we have to do the sketch. We have to.
It's the thing I've been thinking since we're talking about it. We have to do.
This has to be.
I know.
Could you imagine the sketch if it's everybody sitting around in a circle talking about how they lost their families to addiction, and then a comic just goes up and busts out into a fucking act?
It's every kind of meeting. You're in a meeting about the town, where the money's going to.
Oh my God, a town hall meeting?
Yes, you're like, "Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm concerned about the budget, but do you ever notice when you just keep trying to do comedy?
I am here to talk about the importance of people in this town voting. Speaking of voting, did you guys see that?
Did you guys? Yes. Police brutality is horrible, but I would never wait online for those voting machines. I mean, look at me. You think I'd wait a minute?
Oh my God.
If I was going to get a hamburger, I'd wait, but
they always put too much lemonade in the Arnold Palmer, and it's like I said a drop.
We just lose our minds and start doing it everywhere.
Oh my God, dude, that's got to be the sketch could be called like The Desperate Comic or something.
Yeah.
And they just.
Oh my God. Okay.
Everywhere.
So for any comic who's listening, because a shitload of comics listen to this, do not take this idea. This is Paul and mine's idea. I'm saying it publicly.
Dude, what about if somebody, you're just in the back of an Uber and they're like, "How you doing today?" And
you call an ambulance just to try out jokes. Hello, 911. I need to try out new material.
Oh my God, you give yourself a heart attack just to. Oh my God.
You stab yourself so you can try out stuff in the emergency room.
As they bring you back, you just go into a joke.
Do you know?
We could take it further. Like we could, in the sketch, you could die and go to heaven. And when you're in heaven, you're like, "I appreciate it, but listen, let me just run this by you."
Hey God. Hey God, thanks for everything, but I have a new character. What do you want to do?
Oh my God.
It would be good to do it at all kinds of meetings. I mean, this is the thing I did with the Zoom bombs. You would be perfect for that too. Like to just go into a meeting and start doing stuff, but it's not mean. I bombed Zoom.
So you would do that. So when you go in, that was somebody you didn't know those people?
I'll send it to you. You'll freak out. It's one person set up their family or friends, and I would just go in and start talking, and people were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. But it's listen, we're going to have to do comedy in very weird places. That's.
Yeah.
Do you ever try it out just because you're alone with your wife so much and there's nowhere to go and nowhere? Do you try out material like while you guys are having sex?
Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna have to. It's already painful for her.
Harder. Speaking of harder.
Speaking of harder, man, this economy, things are. She's just like, do what? Oh my God.
It's so, yeah. I can't believe you had the same reaction about the pickup truck thing, because I was like, am I being a diva? Because I'm so not. I'll do comedy anywhere, but like that's really pushing it. That's.
I listen, and like I said, like our friends that did it, like I'm not judging that.
No,
and and part of me was like you said, like not jealous, but like, oh, they're telling jokes again.
Yeah.
You know, they're telling jokes again. That must feel good. But I look at it at what cost. And, you know, I mean, and some of the clips I saw were people screaming and yelling.
Oh, my God. I didn't watch the clips. I can't. Oh, God. So everyone was in a truck? The ones
it
you
just
saw?
seemed like, like the comics that weren't up were like just standing next to a truck waiting. And then you hopped on a truck. And from what I saw, you hopped on a truck. I've seen a couple of these throughout the country, actually. And you just hop on a pickup truck and you start talking to people.
You have to jump. Is there a step, or would I have to crawl onto the back?
Well, part of the gig is you need jumper cables. You got to start the truck.
Okay. Well, I'm Jewish, so I don't even know how to fucking like pop the.
Every comic's got to change a tire before they get up. No, but like I saw it, and like I said, not judging, but me and you have done hell gigs, and I've done things in my career that seeing that brought me back to a place where it was like, you know, I was just like, you know something, as much as I love comedy and I like comedy the right way, I've done it in places where you try to do it and it's really not conducive. And I just didn't like how, I mean, I'm being honest. And
yeah, I didn't either. I'm the same. I agree with you. And again, like we're saying, I'm actually impressed with people who are so okay doing it. Like when I saw the people that said yes, I was like, wow, okay, I guess people are doing better than I am, because that would be it for me. I'm in the coffin. That would be the nail going in.
Yeah.
That
you're just talking to yourself. You're just talking to yourself in an insane asylum and talking about cars.
I would have I'm not kidding, because I'm already so. Like even like you have this new hour material, you know, my special came out in December. I started working on a lot of stuff, but it was very new. It's not polished yet. So I still have to like go. I'd rather do a Zoom thing for 7 minutes to try out some jokes than stand on the back of a vehicle.
I couldn't agree more. And you know, how funny would it be though if all the people watching this, they're going to be running, like comedy's going to become drive-ins, and me and you are now begging. Me and you were like, no, we were just, you know, we need work.
I thought you were going to say drive-throughs again.
Excuse me, sir, can I help you? Yeah, let me get a number 2. But dude, my mother is so paranoid.
Hi, can I get extra ketchup? So my mom was a therapist, so I never really felt heard. Hello? Hello?
I said 2 fucking fries. Anyway, my father left, and I just
wait. How much is it? $4.26. Okay, hold on. Let me get it. Oh, by the way, 3 weeks into COVID, my dad died, and it was really hard. But then I realized, like, I just started. Yeah, we don't even make it funny. We just start talking about.
Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry about your dad. And was
you.
Was COVID related at all?
I'm still waiting for the will. No, it wasn't. It was cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was sick for a while then. I'm glad
he was
that
sick only since October. He had pancreatic cancer, so it was really fast. But he was, you know, it was. Listen, it was horrible. But then again, like I have friends who, oh my God, have been through so much worse than that from this virus. Because at least he was home.
That's what I was saying. Like
he was home, so I could be with him. So I was very lucky.
Yeah, that's amazing. And like I said, like anytime, I mean, death to cancer is horrible, but hearing these people like not being able to breathe and like it's like it was just, and the pain, like, after a while, you're just like your lungs. And I heard that it was really not, obviously from what people were seeing in ICU, and then not being able to have your family there and stuff.
Oh, it's horrible. But did you have that breathing thing? Did you?
No. So I was like, I got this. I was telling Sal Vacano yesterday, when I got mine first, before my wife or kids, I got it right around like that late March, like right when it came out. And it was so new, and the news is talking about it all the time. So I went to bed in a panic every night, thinking, am I going to wake up and need a ventilator?
Yeah.
Am I going to need a hospital? So
out.
I would sit up, and I had this cough that would normally come more at night, but not bad, almost just like a coughing fit. But then I would be okay. And then after days and days, then I lost the sense of smell and taste. So the cough wasn't the breathing thing. It was more of just this annoying, the urge to cough. So it was almost like an upper respiratory, but I was never having shortness of breath, never had a bad fever. But since it was so new, Jessica, and it was March, and I'm hearing all these horrible things, and the news was scaring the shit out of everybody. And they go, there's hospital beds, there's no more ventilators, people can't breathe, they're dying. I'm like, people, they're showing people dying on floors in the hospitals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, brutal.
I would be freaking out, especially because we have kids. Like, for anyone listening who has kids, it brings it to another level. It just does.
Oh,
thinking something's going to happen to you, and
floor
no,
with shortness of breath next to somebody, and then you're like, hey, buddy. So my grandmother, listen, I got like 8 minutes. My grandmother. You're just a comic is so desperate, they're rolling around on a hospital floor.
Yeah, just, I'm about to die, but why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the...
Doc, no, you're in ICU on the bed, and you're about to go. You're about to die. You go, Doc, come here. The doctor's looking over you like, tell my wife something. Tell my wife something. He's like, what? I'll tell her anything. What do you want me to tell her?
I never liked your cooking.
And you just start like, yeah, tell her cooking is, no, we're gonna be losing our minds if we don't get on stage. I'm hoping that clubs but I'll tell you now, though, this is true. Just to get on stage, I will go to Montana or Utah, or like I'll go to a place where COVID wasn't. Like, I don't. Oh,
me too. I would too. Now I'm ready. Like I've been saying for so long, I can't again. I can't not. I mean, I'm supposed to go out the end of July, beginning of August to Florida, but I would go out before that if it were a safe situation. I'm not ready right this second, but I would go out soon. I can't stay home.
Maybe we should go and stand on snow blowers in Alaska.
We should do fishing boats.
An ice fishing tour? Yeah. We just stand on frozen ponds.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a concentration camp tour.
Oh my God.
Hey everyone. Boy, do I feel fat today. Where are you guys from?
Oh, I got a headache from laughing.
I know.
It's
important.
So early.
It's important because it is so, and I'm laughing because of course you didn't do the pickup truck thing. And of course I didn't do. For anyone that doesn't know, we need to talk about this before we end. Paul and I did the Impractical Jokers cruise together. I've told so many comics what you've said, and they laugh so hard that they can't breathe because basically I was like as thin as Paris Hilton compared to the people that were on the cruise. And I was joking the whole time. Like, I said something like 3 days, the cruise left from Tampa, and 3 days in, I'm like, are we still in Tampa? Like, it's dark because everyone's so heavy. And it was just, it's fun for me sometimes to make fun of it because, like, who am I to make fun of it? But in that situation, I was anorexic. So Paul said, and they were not, it was not a very attractive crowd. And Paul said, I think the whales are watching us. And then it was a petting zoo.
Well, they said out of all the comedians on the ship, because, there was a lot of us on the ship, DeRosa and Bobby and
Big
you.
J,
and me. There was
a ton of people.
Big J, all these people. And they were like, Jessica and Paul just will not stop making fun of these people. And like on stage, it was just making us. But I said a couple when there was a big bump in the thing. I said some fat fuck fell off the Lido deck. But one of the ones was,
someone dropped someone dropped their serving of bacon.
I said, they say as a performer to not be nervous, just picture the crowd naked. I go, you know what? On this one, maybe not on this ship. Oh my God.
Oh God. I can't.
I've never seen bigger people. I saw a guy, he was 6'8". So normally if you see a guy 6'8", you're like, he's going to be thin because he's 6'8". He was 6'8".
It stretches out. He was both ways. He was 6'8".
He was 6'8", like 500. And I'm going, holy shit. Like, this guy, I mean, Norwegian Cruise Line's losing money with this guy.
They had to get extra gas. Does he run on gas? What does the ship run on? He had to keep stopping for fuel.
They see him walking on the dock and they like get more people to double the goal.
Everyone stood behind him when it was sunny out.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
God.
He took up one pool.
He was the biggest man I've ever seen. I actually was taken aback by how big he was.
Yeah, no, right. You take it, you kind of you kind of have to rearrange your thoughts and be like, was that just real? That's happened.
Yeah, I can't believe that's the biggest human being I've ever seen.
There were a lot of people on Jazzy's too, and it wasn't because of a health reason. It was. That's what it's like on lesbian cruises. It's a ton of big butchy lesbians who are like, "Get out of my way! I have to get to the buffet," and they're like honking. They're all on Jazzy.
Oh.
They're protesting on Jazzy's on the cruise ship.
I'm crying. I have a headache from laughing.
I know.
Oh
but this is so important. You guys, everyone needs to laugh like this. I just made a decision on this podcast. I swear to God on my life. From this is a huge compliment to you. But I literally just thought, because I'm laughing so hard with you, that I'm not going to have a different person on every week anymore. I really, this came up out of nowhere. I'm going to have the friends I laugh with the most, like you, Chris DiStefano, Joe DeRose. I have to have people on that I have that connection to because it's so much funnier. And when you just have people on that are like, have a name, it's great, but it's not what I wanted from my podcast.
No, I said the same thing. I was like, I understand what you mean by that because like I know I have to have you on the Virzi Effect because of this. Because it's very rare that you get somebody like so on the podcast. I've had even the big names that I've had, like some of like the big names are all people dear friends with me.
Right.
And I don't want to just get the only guy that I had on my podcast that I really didn't know who was kind of a big name was big Tom Green. And
I just did one with him. He just did mine. Yeah, he's amazing.
He's such a nice guy, and we have the same manager. So he came on and we instantly like hit it off. But like when you don't have to even feel somebody out, when you just know,
it's
and
so
like,
much better.
It makes the podcast better. If me and you did a podcast, I'm not even joking around.
I know.
If me and you did a podcast together, it would be wild.
Oh my God, it would be amazing. I mean, that's why I would do it in a second. That's why Giannis and Chris are doing so well because I know them so well like you do. Like we both know them I mean, you know Giannis, obviously you guys are best friends. But I know them both really well, and they are who they are on the podcast.
Yes.
And they feed off each other, and it is so funny. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched a clip of them today and I'm like, they're fucking hilarious together.
Yeah.
They are.
There's certain people that you just like, Bobby Kelly's one that we just go,
Me
back
too.
and forth. There's just certain people, the vibe.
Yep. It's probably the same people. I mean, we're talking about Sal. It's the same people that we both, we're ridiculous.
We are talking.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just the same circle of funny people you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
I just had a funny thought. Imagine you're in the electric chair and you're about to, and right when they're about to pull the thing, you just go, listen real quick, the food in this place, huh? Sorry, that was the last one.
No, I love it so much. You're about to give birth. Could you imagine? Push. Okay, but wait a second. Do you think this is funny?
Give me the shot. But listen. Oh my God.
Oh, listen, I'm thinking of a video of doing comedy in the craziest place. We should do it in the back of cars in just the most, that is honestly, to just drive up in crazy places on the back of a truck and do comedy is so.
I just had a thought right now, and I'm not even joking. I probably shouldn't say it on the podcast because we should do it anyway. So, but if anybody stole it, we would know.
Exactly. We're recording that. I mean, I have.
What if we did a podcast like this where me and you just talked about things, but then like the idea of the AA meeting and stuff, what we talked about on the podcast, we then did the sketch.
That's good. That's a good idea. I love that.
So the listeners would go, oh, not only did I hear the idea, now I'm going to watch.
No, I'm going to see it. That's brilliant.
That would be good,
That's
right?
brilliant. And then part of the podcast could be showing the sketch.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the video. Oh my God. I'm still laughing about laying on the floor in the ER telling jokes. I don't know why I think.
Rolling around for air, just fucking trying to get any joke out.
You know, I never understand people with BO. Can't they smell themselves?
Oh my God.
Paul, tell people before we go, I'm going to vomit. I've been laughing so hard. I'm not used to laughing like this. I'm sweating. Me
too.
Where can people find, you have to watch Paul's special, which really, before we go, what happened on TikTok?
Yeah, it's actually a crazy story where like my son and his friends were talking on the phone, and I was like in the kitchen and I heard my son's friend say to him on speaker, whatever, Lucas, do you have a TikTok account? To my son. And my son goes, no, I was thinking about it. Can I get one, Mom? And my wife's like, oh, we'll see. And then all of a sudden my son says, Daddy, do you have one? And I go, no. And then I hear his friend go, wait a minute though. Your dad has something on here that has 2.1 million views and 660. And then I go, what? And now, right now, it's up to 4.1 million views and 1.1 million likes.
What?
And then, yeah, the lightsaber joke. But then because of that, 2 jokes now on Facebook are almost at 900K. So the special is exploding during this.
So happy. That's such great news.
Which is amazing because Comedy Central did a kind of a good job of not showing it. No,
Paul, I thought the same. I said to my manager, Paul, we both had specials produced by Bill with All Things Comedy. Comedy Central put it on once. But what happened when they put it on YouTube? Didn't they put it on YouTube recently? Did it help?
Yeah, so what they were doing was they were giving you get 7 days because of their agreement with advertising, 7 days. So they actually released it on their YouTube channel, and it did better there. In 7 days, almost got 200,000 views.
That's awesome.
And so people, it's almost like a resurgence, and people saw it. And what we're really excited about is the next one is better. So when we were ready to start to deal with that, and where's it going to go, who's going to produce it, then the pandemic happened. So that's why I'm going to get back on the road now and get back. But
where can people see your dates, and how can they follow you and all that stuff?
Yeah, so all my updated dates that got postponed are now the new dates for the fall and this weekend are all on paulvirzi.com. I have a new YouTube channel that we launched recently, and it's doing fantastic. You can get me at You can get me on Instagram at Paul Virzi, Twitter, now a TikTok, and yeah, I'm gonna start dancing like a teenager just to get no.
I think it would be funny if you did, actually.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Looking forward, first time getting up. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it's gonna be emotional getting up.
I feel the same way. I do. I think I probably will get teary-eyed and stuff. It is emotional. It is.
Yeah. No, it's what we do, and this is the longest we've all went for years, without being able to do it.
By far.
I'm looking forward. And
longest
Arizona
time.
has a good scene, man.
Yeah.
Like the Tempe Improv Stand Up Live. They have a lot of great clubs and great like owners and staff. So hopefully people come out.
All right, good. Well, I love you. Thank you so much for doing this. Oh my God, everyone. Check out Paul. I mean, I don't have to say how funny. They all just heard you, so it's obvious how funny you are, and how much.
No,
I
you're the
adore
best,
you.
and you truly are. Like, people always ask me like, who are just the funny? Like, I'm not saying this because I'm on your show.
No, I appreciate it.
We all talk about it, but you're just, I don't look at like, male comic, female comic, things like that. You're just an absolute beast on stage.
Thank
and
you.
Not like the beasts that were on the ship, but
no.
But you're so fucking funny.
Thank
and
you,
you're
Paul.
one of those people that like, there's very few people that like you kind of go, oh, I'm following that person, and you're one of them. And anybody that says different is full of shit. And I think that you deserve everything that you're getting, and I think that your special was fantastic. And you are what you are. You know what you are. You know how good you are.
Yeah. Well, we have the same thing. We're very much alike. I appreciate you saying I feel the same way about you. You have it all.
But I'm gonna see you tomorrow in the back of that Home Depot. We're gonna be standing on dumpsters.
Do you want to do a gig at Jiffy Lube next Tuesday at noon?
That works because I got an oil change. So what we'll just start yelling at the guy in the waiting room.
Yeah, you get a free item from the fucking machine for the
one of those tree refreshers.
Oh, for the car to smell good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a jasmine tree refresher. God.
And you and your wife got to come up with the family to my house up here in the country.
We would kill to do that. That would be so much fun.
We'll do that. We'd love to.
I love you. Thank you for doing this. And I will talk to you very soon.
Love you too. You're the best. I'll talk to you soon.
You are. Bye, honey.
All right. Bye.